The long hair shadow, at 3:12 a.m. I'm not sure who I should tell this story to, but maybe writing it down will make me feel a little lighter. Or maybe not. I'm Ha-rin, 19 years old, a first-year art student at a university in Seoul. My life before moving into Saehan Dormitory was pretty ordinary, studying, drawing, and coffee breaks with friends. I come from a small town on the outskirts, so when I got a scholarship to the school, I was thrilled. Saehan Dormitory was the cheapest option, located in an old area near the city center, with narrow streets and yellowish streetlights. At first, I thought it was the perfect place to start student life. Close to the subway, street food stalls around, and the rent was half of what modern dorms charged. The day I moved in was a chilly autumn afternoon, with Seoul's sky gray and heavy with clouds. I dragged my suitcase up to the second floor, room 213, and met Im So-yeon, my roommate. She was 20, studying natural sciences, the energetic type with bobbed hair, dyed golden blonde, always grinning and saying everything has a scientific explanation. We hit it off quickly. Seoul helped me unpack, brewed some hot tea, and shared survival tips for university. Don't miss the free breakfast in the cafeteria, and always lock the door to avoid theft. Our room was small but cozy. 2 single beds, side by side, a shared desk, an old wooden wardrobe, and a bathroom with a shower that hummed when turned on. The walls were painted white but had yellowed with age, and the ceiling had tiny cracks like spider webs. The air felt a bit musty, but I chalked it up to the building being from the 90s. The management had renovated parts of it, reopening it for students after years of closure, but they didn't mention why it had been shut down. That first evening, we sat eating ramen and watching Netflix. Seoul talked about her family in Busan, her engineer brother, and summer trips. I shared my passion for painting abstract portraits that reflected inner emotions. We laughed until late, then turned off the lights to sleep. I lay in bed, listening to Seoul's steady breathing from the other side. The room was pitch black, with only streetlight filtering through the thin curtains. I was trying to drift off when I heard a strange sound. It was the sound of hair being brushed, swish swish, gently, rhythmically, like someone sitting in front of a mirror, combing long hair, slowly, patiently. The sound was crystal clear, almost right by my ear, yet it felt distant, echoing from somewhere. I thought it was Seoul. Maybe she wasn't fully asleep. So I whispered into the darkness, "Seoul, it's late, go to sleep." But there was no response. The brushing continued, even clearer, mixed with a faint sigh, like someone tired, but unable to stop. My heart raced. I sat up and flicked on the small desk lamp. The weak yellow light illuminated the room. Seoul was fast asleep, facing the wall, hugging her pillow. The sound stopped instantly, as if whoever it was realized they'd been caught. I told myself it was just an illusion from exhaustion after a long day of moving, turned off the light, and lay back down. But that night, I couldn't sleep anymore. Just lying awake, listening to the wind whistling through the vents in the ceiling, like invisible whispers. The next morning, Seoul woke up early and made black coffee for both of us. I told her about the sound from the night before, trying to describe it in detail so it didn't sound like I was imagining things. It was like someone brushing hair, really clear. But you were asleep. Seoul raised an eyebrow and chuckled. Probably just the wind through the vents. Or maybe a neighbor in the next room. This old building, sounds travel easily. Don't overthink it, Ha-rin. You're too sensitive, must be from studying art. Rich imagination. I nodded, forcing a smile, and we headed to class. The day passed normally. Art lectures, coffee at a nearby cafe, and chit-chat with new friends. But that evening, while showering in the cramped bathroom with hot water pouring down, I spotted a long black strand of hair clinging to the door handle. My hair is shoulder length, dyed brown with highlights, and Seoul's is blonde bob. This strand was at least 50 centimeters long, glossy black, smooth like silk, and when I picked it up, a chilling cold spread from my fingers up my arm, as if it carried someone's breath. I stepped out of the bathroom, still dripping, and held it out to Seoul. "Look at this. What kind of hair is this? Not mine or yours." She examined it, shrugged nonchalantly. "Maybe from a previous student, stuck in the drain and just surfaced. Don't worry, I'll clean the room again. You're such a worrier. I've always had sleep issues, since high school. It's because of an old incident I tried to bury deep inside. My best friend Ji-yoon committed suicide right in front of me during recess. We were on the school rooftop, arguing about something trivial, and suddenly she stepped onto the ledge and jumped. I was the only witness, but I didn't dare tell anyone. I was afraid of blame, afraid people would think it was my fault for not stopping her. Since then, nightmares about Ji-yoon haunt me. Her standing with her back turned, brushing her hair, then turning with a distorted face, accusing me. I often wake up at 3:12 a.m., the exact time she left. The doctor said it's sleep disorder from stress, prescribed sedatives, but I know it's deeper, like a curse of guilt clinging to me. At Saehan Dormitory, it continued, even worsened. In the following nights, I'd wake at 3:12 a.m., and each time, the brushing sound returned, not from the hallway, but like right in the room, next to my bed. Swish swish, steady, persistent. I'd lie still, not daring to move, listening to the sound drag on, interspersed with a sad sigh. Once, I mustered the courage to turn on the lamp and scan the room. Nothing. Just the wall mirror reflecting me sitting in bed, pale-faced, hair messy. But oddly, in the mirror, I glimpsed a blurry shadow behind me, like long hair cascading to the floor, jet black. I blinked hard, and it vanished. Heart pounding, I turned off the light, pulled the blanket over my head, convincing myself it was just the light's reflection. I told Ciala in the morning, my voice trembling, the brushing again, and in the mirror, ... Something she listened, but stayed skeptical. You're imagining it, Ha-rin. I sleep soundly, so I haven't heard anything. Maybe you should take sleeping pills, or I'll get you noise-canceling earphones. But I noticed she was changing, though she hid it. A few mornings later, Sila screamed from the bathroom, Ha-rin, more hair. I rushed in and saw on my pillow several long black strands twisted together like a small bundle, as if someone had lain there all night. This isn't mine, she said shakily, holding it with fingertips. And not yours. Is someone pranking us? Or a creep sneaking in? We checked the door locked from inside. No signs of tampering, window closed, curtains drawn. Sila started searching online about Saehan Dormitory, typing furiously on her laptop with a serious face. That's when we learned about its dark past. Turns out, 12 years ago, the dormitory was shut down due to a horrific fire in room 407 on the 4th floor. 3 female students burned to death, their bodies charred beyond recognition. The building was sealed off. Investigations dragged on, and now they've only reopened floors 1, 2, 3 for students, while floor 4 remains locked, with iron chains on the stairs and a bright red danger zone. No entry sign. Locals rumored that at night, lights flicker on in floor 4 despite the power being cut, and shadows glide through the dark hallways. Some hear hairbrushing echoes from above, footsteps dragging slippers on the old wooden floor. Drag, drag, like someone weary, in pain. Sila read aloud from forum comments. Don't stay at Saehan if you're faint-hearted. The ghost girl on floor 4 is still there, she scoffed, trying to sound calm. Just urban legends, like Slenderman or something. Probably faulty wiring or rats. But, it's weird. I saw her eyes dart away, and from then on, the room's atmosphere grew heavy. At night, the wind howled through the vents stronger, carrying cold drafts from the ceiling, like someone standing right above, peering down through the cracks, watching our every move. The hallway lights outside the door started flickering erratically, on and off, casting patchy shadows on the floor, making everything look distorted, eerie. One time, I went out to the hallway at midnight for water from the vending machine at the end of the floor, due to insomnia. The hallway was narrow, endlessly long, with dangling fluorescent bulbs. Halfway there, I saw at the end, a figure with long hair standing with her back turned, motionless like a statue, hair black, hanging to the waist, white dress, long and outdated. I stopped, heart racing. Who is that? Which room are you from? The figure didn't answer, just slowly turned her head. But before I could see the face, the hallway lights went out, darkness swallowing everything. I stood frozen for seconds. Then the lights came back, hallway empty, not a soul. I ran back to the room, locked the door, panting. Ciala woke from the noise. What happened? Did you see a ghost? I told her, and this time she didn't laugh, just nodded. I've started hearing strange sounds too. Sila believed in science, but she began accepting the unexplainable. She secretly installed a small camera in the room, linked to her phone, to check for anything weird. If it's a creep, we'll report to the police. But the dorm's security cameras had a mysterious blind spot on floor 4. The management said it was due to the old system, not fixed yet. We decided to ask locals for more info. An old lady selling street food at the corner, with a wrinkled face and hoarse voice, told us while we bought kimbap, don't go to floor 4. Kids, there's a Gwizna ghost. The girl, named Im So-yeon, died in the fire 12 years ago. She was shy, bullied by roommates, often sat alone on the stairs brushing her hair because no one wanted to room with her. Now, her spirit wanders. The brushing sound echoes every night at 3:12. the exact time the fire started, and if you have wounds in your heart, she'll come for you, ... I shivered. The name So-yeon sounded familiar, like from my dreams about Ji-yoon. That night, I woke at 3:12 a.m. again. The brushing sound rang clear, but this time with choked sobs like someone trying to speak with a scorched throat, raspy, pained, intermittent. I sat up in the dark, cold sweat breaking out, and through the crack under the door, heard a faint whisper, "Replace me, please replace ... A woman's voice, sorrowful, like a plea. Sila woke too, face pale, gripping my hand tightly. "Did you hear that? It's not the wind, it's a voice." We huddled together until dawn, not daring to turn on the light. The climax hit over the weekend, when we reviewed the dorm's security footage. Sila had a friend in security, so she snuck a copy. In the clip from 3:12 a.m. the previous night, we saw me getting out of bed, opening the door mechanically, and heading up the stairs. But the stairs to floor 4 were chained. In the video, the figure, like my short brown hair, pajamas, pushed the door lightly, and it swung open, as if unlocked. I walked into floor 4, the hallway pitch black and dusty, and vanished into the shadows. But the next morning, I was sure I hadn't left the bed. I remembered lying still that night, hearing dragging footsteps from above. Drag, ... drag, ... descending, stopping at our door, then light knocks, like nails scratching. "Is this deep fake, or ... Are you really sleepwalking?" Sila whispered, hands shaking on the phone. "I'm not sleepwalking," I replied, voice faltering. "Something's pulling me up there." The next morning, on the door handle, another bundle of long black hair, twisted tight like an invitation. I delved deeper into the fire research, sneaking into the school library, flipping through dusty old newspapers. The fire in room 407 wasn't a simple accident. Im So-yeon was locked in by her roommates because they hated her. She was timid, often cried alone, bullied to the point of avoiding the room. They locked the door from outside, joking, "Stay in there and brush your hair," but flames erupted from a faulty gas stove in the hallway. 3 died, but So-yeon was the last, her throat scorched, unable to cry for help, just lying there hearing her own final brushing in agony. Her spirit doesn't seek direct revenge but wanders for someone with similar wounds, lonely, guilty to pool as a dead bride, replacing her in an ancient curse her roommates had mockingly invoked. Find a substitute to free the ghost. I realized I was like Saehan. My guilt over Ji-yoon made me connectable, like an invisible thread. Every mirror glance showed a figure behind long hair, scorched white dress, standing still. The cold from the ceiling grew stronger, like hands on my shoulders, pulling upward. Sila panicked more. One night she saw me brushing hair in front of the mirror in the dark. "Ha-rin, what are you doing? Brushing at midnight?" She flipped the light on, but in the mirror, only Sila reflected. I wasn't there. I turned, and in the glass, my face warped into So-yeon's child one, smiling crookedly. "Replaced me. Be my bride." Sila screamed, ran out calling for help, but when she returned, everything was normal. I collapsed, waking the next morning with hazy memories. But I knew the truth. The spirit doesn't attack outright but invades slowly, drawing me into its world. Last night, the elevator opened on floor 4 by itself, buttons locked, and whispers echoed, "Come up here. You're like me. ... Double quotes now. I sit writing this in the empty room, hands trembling on the keyboard. Sila moved out hastily, leaving a note. "I'm sorry, but I can't take it anymore. You should leave too, but I can't escape. I feel chosen, like an unwilling bride." Each night the brushing gets closer, the cold envelops, and dreams of So-yeon blend with Ji-yoon. I know the spirit wants me to replace to complete the curse with one lonely soul. And tonight, the clock strikes 3:12. The swish swish starts again, right by my ear. I don't know how long I can resist.